The story begins by introducing us to a 50-year-old woman named Romy, who is the CEO of a robotic automation company. Romy is an influential, self-reliant, and successful woman. She is married to a famous theater director and they share two daughters. However, Romy's married life is not going smoothly because her husband is unable to satisfy her in bed. It wasn't that there was any deficiency in Romy's husband. Rather, Romy's physical needs were exceptionally high, because of which she never achieved true satisfaction. Due to this, Romy often remained unhappy. One day, while Romy is walking to her office, a dog suddenly runs toward her to attack. Seeing this, Romy gets extremely terrified. Just then, a young man calls out to the dog, brings it close to him, and manages to control it. In this way, he saves Romy. Following this incident, Romy reaches her office. Romy's assistant brings some new interns to meet her, and among them is the exact same young man who saved Romy from the dog. His name is Samuel, and he is 23 years old. He is young, attractive, and confident. Here, the two recognize each other. Romy notices that Samuel's energy is completely different from the other interns. He doesn't hesitate at all and asks questions fearlessly right in front of Romy. Later, during a break, Romy asks Samuel, "How did you call that dog to you and calm it down?" To this, Samuel reveals that he had a cookie, in which he fed to the dog to bring it under control. At night, Romy is in bed with her husband, but even today he is unable to make her happy. Because of this, Romy has to watch videos to fulfill her needs. The very next day, Romy attends an office party with her husband, where many people are present and enjoying themselves. Romy goes out to the balcony to smoke a cigarette. Just then, Samuel approaches her and says, "I have chosen you as my mentor in the company's mentorship program." However, Romy knows absolutely nothing about this, so she remains silent. After this, when Romy returns to the party, her husband asks her to dance, but Romy refuses to dance, stands to the side, and begins watching Samuel dance with another girl. Samuel is dancing completely carefree. Suddenly, his tie comes undone and falls to the ground. Samuel was so involved in the dance that he didn't realize anything. Meanwhile, Romy stares at him continuously without blinking. The next day, when Romy arrives at the office, she sees Samuel's tie lying on the floor. She picks it up and takes it to her cabin. Then, she begins to smell the tie and even kisses it, signaling her growing attraction towards Samuel. After this, Romy starts taking skin treatments and therapies to make herself look young and beautiful. The following day, when Romy takes the elevator to go to her cabin, she runs into Samuel. Samuel tells her that under the mentorship program, he needs to speak with her for 10 minutes. But Romy replies that she doesn't have that much time and walks away. However, Romy's assistant convinces her to meet with Samuel, saying that it would help understand people better and would also benefit the company. Following this, Romy holds a meeting with Samuel. She tells him, "You only have 7 minutes. Ask your question quickly." Samuel questions one of Romy's decisions. This is the first time an employee has spoken to her in this manner. Romy finds it a bit strange, but somewhere deep down, she is also impressed by it. When Romy angrily prepares to leave, Samuel stops her and comes close to her. Samuel moves forward to kiss Romy, and seeing this, Romy kisses him back. But right then, Romy realizes this is wrong, says that none of this should be happening, and leaves the room. From that point on, Romy decides to keep herself away from Samuel, but it wasn't that easy for her because her husband still hadn't been able to give her that physical pleasure to keep her fully satisfied. Therefore, Romy had become completely attracted to Samuel. When Romy is at the office, Samuel tells her, "We need to hold a meeting this week because I have chosen you as my mentor and it is a company rule." But Romy wanted to keep herself away from him, so she simply replies, "I'll see." At night, Romy goes to a party with her office friends where Samuel is also present and continuously watching her. Both begin to stare intently at each other. After a little while, Romy remembers some urgent work at the office, so she leaves the party and goes to her workplace. When she reaches her cabin, she finds a note on a table with a hotel name, room number, and time written on it. The next day, Romy goes to that very hotel. She reaches inside the room and just then Samuel walks in. Romy says, "All of this is wrong. We shouldn't meet like this. Whatever is happening, stop it." Samuel smiles and questions her. "Then why did you come here?" Romy has no answer to this. She says hesitantly, "You are young and I don't want to take advantage of you." But Samuel confidently replies, "Right now, I hold the power. If I tell anyone about us, you will be fired from your job." Romy actually likes this dominant attitude of Samuel. Following this, Samuel asks her, Have you ever thought about giving your control to someone else? Romy replies softly, No, I am always in control. Samuel smiles slightly and says, I don't think so. He begins to get close to her. Romy tries to stop him, but Samuel softly says, Be quiet. Then he tells her to take off her clothes, but Romy refuses. Samuel then commands her, Get down on the floor on all fours like a dog. Romy obeys him and does exactly that. After this, Samuel takes a piece of chocolate in his hand and tells Romy to eat it. Romy slowly moves forward, bends down like a dog, and picks up the chocolate with her mouth to eat it. Samuel strokes her back and then shows her affection. After this, the two get intimate. For the first time, Romy feels completely satisfied and feels immensely happy. From this point on, a new relationship begins between them, a relationship based on passion and the balance of power. Romy's physical needs, which her husband couldn't fulfill, were now being fulfilled by Samuel. However, it was also running through Romy's mind that she is Samuel's boss and Samuel is much younger than her. Along with that, she is a married woman and has children. But ignoring all of this, Romy continues to meet Samuel. The two meet at the office, hotels, and different places to get intimate with each other. Gradually, Romy's body language begins to change. She now appears much more relaxed and carefree. Samuel always loved her in a dominant way, and Romy had begun to love this immensely. One day when Romy returns home, she sees Samuel in her house talking to her daughter and husband. Seeing this, she is left completely stunned. Romy approaches them and Samuel lies, saying, You forgot your laptop at the office, which I came to return. Angrily, Romy takes him in her car to drop him off. Inside the car, she takes out her anger on Samuel. She tells him, My family is everything to me, and you must never come to my house again. Romy tells him, We should end this relationship. I don't want anyone to find out about us. However, Samuel gets angry, and an argument breaks out between the two. In a fit of rage, Samuel steps out of the car and walks away. The next day, Samuel messages Romy and calls her to the office rooftop. He tells her, If you want us to end this relationship, I will get myself transferred to another department. Romy objects to this because she feared it would raise questions about her. And if the company people found out about their relationship, Romy would be fired. At night, Romy is in bed, feeling highly stressed and thinking about all of this. When Romy's husband begins to show her affection, she gets furious and lets all her anger out on him. She tells her husband, You have never physically satisfied me to this day. Saying this much, she walks out of the room. Her husband thinks that perhaps she is saying such things due to stress. Frustrated, Romy goes to a bar where Samuel works part-time. Romy tries to talk to him, but he doesn't speak to her at all. The next day, Romy's husband asks her about the previous night. She claims that she had said it merely out of anger. Romy then gets ready and goes to the office. She meets Samuel and tells him, I want to continue my relationship with you. Samuel tells her, If you want that, you will have to obey everything I say. Romy hesitates at first, but after Samuel insists, she agrees to his condition. From then on, Samuel begins to control her. He takes Romy to a hotel and says, Take off your clothes. Romy obeys him and does so. Samuel tells her, You are very beautiful. And then the two get close. From here, their relationship takes a completely different turn. Samuel becomes the dominant one, and Romy submits completely to him. Whatever order Samuel gives her, Romy follows it like an obedient partner. Both seemed quite happy. One day, a birthday party for Romy's daughter is going on at their house. Just then, the doorbell rings. Romy opens the door and sees her assistant, whom she had invited to the birthday. However, the assistant had brought Samuel along with her. In reality, Samuel and Romy's assistant were dating each other. Romy's assistant asks her, I have brought Samuel along. I hope there's no issue with that. Romy tries to look comfortable from the outside, but from the inside, she was feeling extremely uncomfortable. Romy quickly sends a message and calls Samuel into the kitchen, letting out her anger on him. Romy says, I cannot see you with anyone else, and you cannot date any other girl. You are only mine. Just then, Romy's assistant arrives there, and Romy immediately shuts up. Samuel then walks out of the kitchen with the assistant. The next day at the office, Romy calls her assistant into her cabin. She says, You cannot date an intern because you are senior to him. If you do this, your promotion might be held back. The following day, Romy's assistant arrives at her house. She tells Romy, I know everything about the relationship between you and Samuel. She directly tells Romy, I want you to break off your relationship with Samuel and give me that promotion I was supposed to get. The assistant adds, You are a role model for women. You have achieved so much in your life. Don't ruin everything by making such a mistake." Saying this, the assistant leaves the place. Romy gets under massive stress and cannot comprehend what she should do next. When Romy's husband comes home, she confesses to him, saying, "Since childhood, I used to have some strange thoughts. I wanted to fulfill my fantasies, but you were never interested in them." Romy continues, "I had physical needs, but you couldn't fulfill them either. Because of this, wrong thoughts entered my mind, which I tried very hard to stop but couldn't. Then I met a guy with whom I did all of that." Hearing this, her husband shatters from inside. He asks, "Do I know him?" To this, Romy lies, saying, "No, he was a stranger. We just met once and got close because I have physical needs too." Hearing all this, Romy's husband fills with rage. Romy tries to reason with him and says, "I love only you." But her husband screams, "You cheated on me. You didn't think about the children even once." He tells Romy to get out of the house. Crying, Romy leaves the house and goes to live in their second home. At night, Romy notices Samuel swimming in the pool. She approaches him and tells him to leave. However, Samuel pulls her into the water, and they get close to each other once again. After this, both are inside the house when suddenly Romy's husband arrives there. Seeing Romy and Samuel together, he becomes absolutely furious. He begins to drag Romy away from there, but Samuel steps in between, leading to a physical altercation between the two men. Romy steps in and calms them both down. Romy's husband tells Samuel, "My wife used you for her fantasy." But Samuel replies, "It's not like that." Suddenly, Romy's husband suffers a panic attack. Seeing this, Samuel steps forward to help him and gives him water to drink. At that exact moment, Samuel realizes that what he was doing was wrong. He apologizes to Romy's husband and leaves the place. Romy's husband also leaves after recovering. Meanwhile, Romy was living all alone in her second home. After a few days, her daughter comes to her and says, "Ever since you left, Dad isn't coming home. He is living at the theater itself and has stopped eating and drinking properly." Romy's daughter adds, "He needs you, Mom. Please come back home. He will forgive you." Heeding her daughter's words, Romy goes to her husband's theater. Seeing him, she breaks into tears and apologizes for her mistakes. She promises, "This won't happen ever again." Her husband remains silent for a moment and then embraces her. Thus, both decide to give their relationship a fresh start. A few days later, Romy is at her office. Just then, a board member approaches her and mentions, "Samuel has gone to Japan and is working a new job there." He inquires, "Does Samuel's departure have anything to do with you?" Romy says nothing. The board member then tells her, "I am home alone today. You can come over." Romy realizes that he knows about her and Samuel, and now wants to take advantage of her. However, Romy clearly states, "I am not afraid of you, so get out of here." Afterward, Romy is in bed at her house with her husband. Her husband is trying his absolute best to satisfy her according to her fantasies, and Romy is thoroughly enjoying all of it. Feeling this moment completely, she drifts deep into her thoughts. Her imagination takes her to a hotel room with Samuel, where Samuel is with a dog from the street. However, instead of the dog, Romy imagines herself in its place, with Samuel showing her affection. In reality, after meeting Samuel, Romy realized that the physical needs she couldn't fulfill earlier were met through him. Samuel made Romy realize her true fantasy, and while being with Samuel, she discovered that, along with love, she also desires a dominant approach, something she had never imagined before. And with this, the movie ends. Like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so you never miss any upcoming videos.